Story 2. The Woman Who Warned Me. I never thought twice about shopping at Walmart after work. I worked the closing shift at a pet store across town, and by the time I clocked out, most grocery stores were already closed. Walmart was the only place still open, so it became part of my routine. Every Tuesday and Friday, I'd stop there around 10:30 at night. The same parking lot, the same entrance, the same cashier. It felt familiar, safe. There were always enough people around that I never worried about anything happening. That changed one Friday in November. I parked near the garden center because it was closer to the entrance I usually used. The parking lot wasn't empty, but it was quieter than usual. As I got out of my car, I noticed a man sitting inside an older black SUV. The engine was running. His headlights were off. He wasn't on his phone. He wasn't eating. He was just looking out the windshield toward the entrance. I didn't think much of it. Maybe he was waiting for someone. People do that all the time. I grabbed my purse and walked inside. I only needed a few things: laundry detergent, milk, cat food, toothpaste. I was halfway through the cleaning supplies aisle when I saw him again. Same black jacket, same baseball cap, walking slowly down the opposite side. No cart, no basket, no groceries. He didn't even glance at the shelves. He simply kept walking. I figured he'd forgotten something. Or maybe he was just killing time while someone else shopped. It wasn't my business. About 15 minutes later, I headed toward the frozen food section. As I reached for a bag of vegetables, I heard someone stop behind me. I stepped to the side to let them pass. They didn't. When I looked over my shoulder, it was him, standing about 8 feet away, looking at the freezer door, except the freezer in front of him contained frozen pizzas. The glass door wasn't even open. He wasn't reaching for anything. He just stood there, completely still. After a few uncomfortable seconds, he turned around and walked away. I actually laughed to myself. You're imagining things. A few minutes later, I went to self-checkout. There was a woman in her 60s using the register beside mine. She glanced toward the entrance, then back at me, then quietly asked, "Is that man with you?" I frowned. "What man?" She nodded behind me. "The one who's been following you." I turned. There he was again, standing beside a display of bottled water, no shopping cart, no groceries, just watching. I looked back at the woman. I don't know him. Her face changed immediately. Without another word, she pulled out her phone. She pretended to continue scanning her groceries while whispering, "Don't leave alone." My heart started racing. "What?" "I've seen him watching you since electronics." I looked toward the exits. The man was gone. For a second, I felt relieved. Maybe he'd finally left. Then the woman grabbed my arm. "Don't." "What?" "He's outside." Through the front windows, I could see the black SUV parked exactly where I'd left my car. Its engine was still running. The man was standing beside it now, looking directly toward the entrance, not moving, just waiting. The woman leaned closer. "Come with me." She walked me to customer service and explained everything to the manager. Within minutes, 2 Walmart employees and an asset protection officer came over. They asked for a description. I pointed toward the parking lot. The SUV was gone. So was the man. One employee offered to walk me to my car. Another stayed inside watching the cameras. The parking lot looked normal. Nothing seemed out of place. We reached my car. I unlocked it, loaded my groceries. Just as I opened the driver's door, the employee suddenly said, "Get in." His voice had completely changed. I looked up. The black SUV had just turned into the parking aisle. Slowly. Too slowly. It wasn't looking for a parking space. It was coming toward us. The employee stepped between me and the vehicle. The SUV slowed almost to a stop. The driver looked directly at me. Then, without saying a word, he drove away. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The next Tuesday, I decided to shop at a different Walmart nearly 25 minutes away. Different neighborhood, different parking lot, different time. As I walked toward the entrance, I froze, parked 3 rows away. Was the same black SUV? At first I tried convincing myself it couldn't be. There are thousands of black SUVs. But then the driver's door opened. The same man stepped out. He looked around the parking lot. Then he started walking toward the entrance, toward me. I immediately turned around, got back into my car, locked the doors, and drove straight to the nearest police station. The detective reviewed my previous report, along with Walmart's surveillance footage. After comparing camera recordings from several stores, they realized something disturbing. The man had been visiting multiple Walmart locations across the county. Not to shop, to watch people. Mostly women shopping alone at night. He'd follow them through the store, wait to see where they parked, then leave. No one knew how many victims there had been. Months later, police arrested him after another woman called 911 while he followed her home from a supermarket. Investigators later found notebooks inside his vehicle. Each page contained descriptions of different women, their vehicles, the time they usually shopped, which entrance they used, how long they stayed inside. My name wasn't written anywhere. At least, not on the pages police showed me. That happened 4 years ago. I still shop at Walmart, but I've never gone back alone after dark. And every single time I walk through those automatic doors, I look into the parking lot before I leave. Not because I'm afraid of the dark, but because sometimes someone isn't following you by accident. Sometimes they've been learning your routine for weeks, and you don't realize you're being watched until someone else notices first.